The coffee shop door swung open, letting in a gust of autumn air along with a harried-looking man juggling a laptop bag in a child's forgotten lunchbox. He wasn't the one she was waiting for, but sometimes, fate has other plans than the ones we carefully arrange on dating apps. Before we dive into this unexpected love story that changed two lives forever, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming real-life stories that remind us how love finds us in the most unexpected moments. Emma checked her watch for the fifth time in 15 minutes. 3:45 p.m. Her blind date was officially 15 minutes late. She sighed, stirring her rapidly cooling latte with more force than necessary, creating a small whirlpool in the ceramic mug. The coffee shop buzzed with afternoon energy, students hunched over laptops, business meetings conducted in hushed tones, baristas calling out elaborate drink orders. "Is this seat taken?" Emma looked up, ready to explain that yes, actually, she was waiting for someone, when she paused. The man standing beside her table wasn't her blind date, she knew that much from the profile picture Jen had shown her. This man was taller, with kind eyes crinkled at the corners and dark hair that curled slightly at his temples. He held a coffee in one hand and a laptop bag in the other. "I'm supposed to be meeting someone, but..." Emma glanced at her watch again. "He's pretty late." "Ah," the man said with an understanding nod. The dreaded stand-up. "Mind if I sit until he arrives? Every other table is taken, and I've got some work to finish before I pick up my daughter from her piano lesson." Something about the way he said, "my daughter," with equal parts pride and exhaustion, made Emma smile. "Sure, why not? I'm Emma, by the way." "Noah," he replied, setting down his things and extending a hand. "Thanks for the temporary asylum. This place is always packed on Thursdays." Emma shook his hand, noticing the absence of a wedding ring but the slight indentation where one might have been. "No problem. I'm starting to think I've been stood up anyway." "His loss," Noah said simply, opening his laptop. They fell into a comfortable silence, Emma scrolling through her phone while occasionally glancing at the door, Noah typing with focused intensity. After another 15 minutes, Emma's phone buzzed with a text. "Unbelievable," she muttered. Noah looked up, eyebrows raised in question. "My date just cancelled." Apparently, he forgot he had a previous commitment. Emma made air quotes with her fingers, not bothering to hide her annoyance. "That's rough," Noah said, wincing sympathetically. "Though I can't say I'm entirely disappointed. It means I don't have to find another table." His smile was warm, and Emma found herself smiling back despite her frustration. Silver linings, I guess. "So what do you do, Emma, when you're not being stood up by forgetful blind dates?" Noah asked, closing his laptop slightly. "I'm a children's book illustrator," she replied. "I work from home mostly, which is both a blessing and a curse. Some days I forget to talk to actual humans." Noah's eyes lit up. "No way. My daughter Lily is obsessed with books. She's 7 and already has more books than I do." "That's the perfect age," Emma said, her disappointment about the failed date fading. "What kind of books does she like?" "Anything with animals that talk or girls who go on adventures. Preferably both at once." Emma laughed. "A girl after my own heart." Their conversation flowed easily after that. Noah was a high school English teacher who had been raising his daughter alone for the past 3 years, since his wife had left them for a finding herself journey that had turned into a permanent relocation to Australia. He spoke about it matter-of-factly, without bitterness, which impressed Emma. "It was hard at first," he admitted, "especially for Lily. But kids are resilient, and honestly, I think we're in a better place now. Lily and I are a team." Emma found herself sharing more than she usually would with a stranger, about her struggles to break into the competitive world of children's book illustration, about her tiny apartment filled with half-finished canvases, about the dating disasters that had led her friend Jen to set her up on this blind date in the first place. "I should thank your no-show date," Noah said, glancing at his watch. But I actually need to run and pick up Lily now. Emma felt a surprising pang of disappointment. Of course. It was nice talking with you, Noah. He hesitated, then pulled out a pen and scribbled something on a napkin. This is my number. Maybe we could get coffee again sometime? Intentionally, I mean. Emma took the napkin, a warm feeling spreading through her chest. I'd like that. 3 days later, Emma found herself sitting on a park bench, watching Noah push Lily on the swings. The little girl had her father's dark curls and an infectious laugh that carried across the playground. Higher, Daddy. I want to touch the clouds. If you touch the clouds, you might float away, Noah called back, giving the swing another push. Emma smiled, taking in the scene. She hadn't expected to be here, on what was essentially a date with not just Noah but his daughter too. When he'd called the day after their coffee shop meeting, he'd been upfront about the package deal that was his life. I don't really do solo dates anymore, he'd explained. Lily is the center of my world, and anyone in my life needs to understand that. Rather than feeling intimidated, Emma had been touched by his honesty and devotion to his daughter. She'd suggested the park, thinking it would be a comfortable setting for all of them. Emma. Lily called, waving frantically from the swing. Watch how high I can go. Emma waved back, giving the girl a thumbs up. She'd been nervous about meeting Lily, worried the child might be resistant to her father spending time with someone new. But Lily had been open and curious from the moment they'd met, bombarding Emma with questions about her job and whether she'd ever drawn a unicorn with rainbow wings and laser eyes. Not yet, Emma had replied seriously, but that sounds like an excellent idea. Now, as Noah helped Lily off the swing and they made their way back to the bench, Emma felt a flutter of something unfamiliar, not just attraction to Noah, but a sense of rightness about the three of them together. Can we get ice cream? Lily asked, slightly out of breath from her swinging adventure. Noah looked at Emma questioningly. What do you think? Are you up for ice cream? Always, Emma replied with a grin. As they walked to the nearby ice cream stand, Lily slipped her small hand into Emma's with the easy trust of childhood. Emma felt her heart constrict with unexpected emotion. You know, Lily said matter-of-factly, my dad hasn't brought anyone to meet me since my mom left. Emma glanced at Noah, who looked slightly embarrassed but didn't contradict his daughter. Well, I'm honored to be the first, Emma said carefully. Lily nodded, satisfied. I like you. You don't talk to me like I'm a baby. Lily has strong opinions about being treated like a big kid, Noah explained, ruffling his daughter's hair affectionately. Smart girl, Emma said. I felt the same way when I was your age. The ice cream outing turned into dinner at a casual pizza place, where Lily regaled Emma with stories about her school and friends. By the time Noah was driving Emma home, with Lily dozing in the back seat, Emma felt as though she'd known them both for much longer than a few days. I had a really nice time, she said softly as Noah pulled up in front of her apartment building. So did we, he replied, his eyes reflecting the streetlights. Lily hasn't stopped talking about you since we met at the coffee shop. She's amazing, Emma said sincerely. You're doing a wonderful job with her. Noah's expression softened. Thank you. That means a lot. He hesitated, then added, I know this is complicated, me having Lily, still dealing with the aftermath of my marriage. I wouldn't blame you if it's too much. Emma considered his words carefully. Dating a single parent wasn't something she'd planned, and she knew it would come with challenges. But there was something about Noah, his kindness, his integrity, the way he looked at his daughter with such love, that made her want to see where this could go. I like complicated, she said finally. And I like you both. The smile that spread across Noah's face was worth any future complications. Over the next few months, Emma found herself increasingly integrated into Noah and Lily's lives. Weekend outings to museums and parks became routine. She helped Lily with art projects for school. Noah cooked dinner for the three of them at his cozy suburban home, and Emma brought dessert. It wasn't always smooth sailing. There were moments when Lily tested boundaries, when the reality of dating someone with a child hit home. Like the night Lily had a nightmare and crawled into bed with Noah, interrupting what had been a romantic evening for the adults. Or the parent-teacher conference that Noah had to attend, canceling their dinner plans at the last minute. But there were beautiful moments too, watching Lily's face light up when Emma showed her how to mix watercolors to create new shades, sitting together on the couch for movie nights with Lily nestled between them, the first time Lily called Emma's apartment our other home. For months after their coffee shop meeting, Emma was at her drawing table when her phone rang. It was her agent, Caroline. "Emma, I have amazing news," Caroline said without preamble. "Penguin wants to publish your book series. They love the concept, they love your illustrations, and they're offering a 3-book deal." Emma sat in stunned silence, her pencil slipping from her fingers. "Emma? Are you there?" "Yes, sorry, I'm just, wow." "Are you serious?" "Completely serious. They're particularly excited about the Adventures of Lily concept, a little girl and her talking fox exploring different worlds. It's fresh, it's charming, and your illustrations are gorgeous." Emma's eyes filled with tears. She'd been working on this series for months, inspired by Noah's daughter and their conversations about what made a good children's book. She'd poured her heart into the character, a brave, curious girl with wild curls who wasn't afraid of anything. "This is incredible, Caroline. Thank you." After hanging up, Emma sat in her chair, overwhelmed with emotion. She'd been trying to break into children's book publishing for years, facing rejection after rejection. And now, inspired by her unexpected relationship with Noah and Lily, she'd created something that resonated. Her first instinct was to call Noah, but she decided this news should be delivered in person. She grabbed her portfolio containing the original illustrations and headed to his house, where she knew they'd be having their usual Friday night pizza and movie. When Noah opened the door, his face broke into a smile that still made her heart skip. "This is a nice surprise. We were just about to order." "I have news," Emma said, barely containing her excitement. "Is Lily here?" In the living room, building a fort out of every blanket in the house, Noah replied, stepping aside to let her in. Emma found Lily amidst a sea of blankets and pillows, a flashlight in hand as she arranged her fort just so. "Emma," the little girl exclaimed, abandoning her construction project to throw her arms around Emma's waist. "You're early. Are you staying for movie night?" "Absolutely," Emma said, hugging her back. "But first, I have something to show you both." They sat on the couch as Emma opened her portfolio and explained about the book deal. Noah's face shone with pride, but it was Lily's reaction that touched Emma most deeply. "You made a book about me?" Lily whispered, her small fingers tracing the illustration of her namesake character. "Inspired by you," Emma corrected gently. "The bravest, most creative girl I know." Lily looked up at her, eyes wide. "Will people in other places read it? Will other kids know about Lily and her adventures?" "They will," Emma promised. "All over the world." Lily's face lit up with wonder, and she threw her arms around Emma's neck. "This is the best thing ever." Over Lily's head, Emma's eyes met Noah's. He was watching them with an expression that made her breath catch, love, unmistakable and unguarded. Later, after Lily had fallen asleep in her blanket fort halfway through the movie, Noah and Emma sat together on the porch swing, a shared blanket over their laps against the evening chill. "I am so incredibly proud of you," Noah said, his arm around her shoulders. "I knew your work was special from the first time you showed me." Emma leaned into him, content. "I couldn't have done it without you too. Before I met you, my illustrations were technically good but missing something. Lily brought them to life." Noah was quiet for a moment, then said, "You know, the day I met you in that coffee shop, I wasn't supposed to be there either. Emma looked up at him, surprised. What do you mean? I usually grade papers at the library on Thursdays, but it was closed for renovations. The coffee shop was my backup plan. He smiled, shaking his head slightly. If that library hadn't been closed, if you hadn't been stood up. If you hadn't needed a place to sit, Emma added. Exactly. So many little coincidences that led to something so important. The weight of his words settled between them, comfortable and significant. Emma, Noah said, his voice suddenly serious. These past few months have been the happiest Lily and I have had in a long time. You've brought something into our lives that we didn't even know was missing. Emma's heart began to race. You've done the same for me. Noah shifted to face her more directly. I know it's only been a few months, and I know this isn't conventional, but I've never been more certain of anything. I love you, and Lily loves you, and I want to know if you'd consider making this arrangement more permanent. Emma blinked, processing his words. Are you asking what I think you're asking? Noah smiled, a touch of nervousness in his expression. I'm asking if you'd consider moving in with us, for starters. And maybe, if that goes well, something more official down the road. Tears pricked at Emma's eyes. 6 months ago, she'd been sitting in a coffee shop, annoyed at being stood up by a blind date. Now, she was being offered a family, a home, a future she hadn't dared to imagine. Yes, she said simply. To all of it. Now and down the road. Noah's kiss was gentle and full of promise. When they broke apart, Emma rested her head on his shoulder, looking out at the quiet street where children's bicycles lay abandoned in front yards and porch lights glowed in the gathering darkness. Should we tell Lily tomorrow? She asked. Noah nodded. She'll be thrilled. She's been asking when you're going to live here for real, 4 weeks now. Emma laughed softly. Smart kid. She gets that from me, Noah joked, pulling Emma closer. As they sat together on the porch swing, Emma thought about the strange, wonderful path that had led her here. A missed blind date, a crowded coffee shop, a single dad looking for a place to sit. Such small moments that had changed everything. 1 year later, Emma stood in the back of a small chapel, her heart pounding beneath the simple white dress she'd chosen for the occasion. Through the doorway, she could see Noah waiting at the altar, handsome in his dark suit, his eyes scanning the gathered guests for a glimpse of her. Beside her, Lily bounced on her toes, resplendent in her flower girl dress, a crown of daisies on her dark curls. Are you nervous? The little girl whispered, looking up at Emma with solemn eyes. Emma smiled, smoothing a stray curl from Lily's forehead. A little. Are you? Lily shook her head confidently. Nope. We're already a family. This just makes it official. Out of the mouths of babes, Emma thought, her nervousness fading. Lily was right, the ceremony was important, but it was just a formalization of what they already knew to be true. They were a family, brought together by chance and choice and love. The music changed, signaling it was time. Lily gave Emma's hand a squeeze before starting down the aisle, scattering rose petals with enthusiastic abandon. As Emma followed, her eyes locked with Noah's. His face, when he saw her, transformed with a joy so pure it brought tears to her eyes. Beside him, Lily was practically vibrating with excitement, her smile wide enough to split her face. Emma thought about the journey that had brought them here, from a chance meeting in a coffee shop to this moment, surrounded by friends and family.